marking exams, and I got a little text. Like he's probably downstairs at some point in his office, and I'm upstairs. Little text saying, "Do you fancy this one?" And now we're going to watch OTT in Wolverhampton, which we should have done in March, but it got scrapped or whatever it was. So this is Scrappermania, coincidentally. Now, already I was like, yeah, let's do it. It's in the summer. We can figure the kids out. We can do all that kind of stuff, right? The lineup, all my days, right? Now, obviously, you've got the sort of local guys. Robbie X is going to be there. So there's Robbie X again, right? Now, listen to this for your imports. Obviously, you've got Trent Seven. He's the current OTT champion. So we get Trent again, right? Dan Maloney, Speedball Mike Bailey, winner. Trevor Lee, aka Cameron Grimes,
Nice.
Dan Housen,
Nice.
and Nick Nemeth.
Is he still tickets to this?
I think there is.
May I have
You know, they
tickets?
couldn't have to Wolverhampton.
May I have to get tickets for this?
My hope is that they just do, because again, it's on the table, it's right there. Give me Robbie X and Speedball,
That'd be good.
please. You know, but yeah, nice little cheeky one. And I never usually say cheeky.
Mhm.
Nice little cheeky one before we go to All In. So yeah,
That
he
is
snuck
that's
he snuck
that.
that one in there.
Yeah, that does sound cheeky. That sounds like a good. That's a good
Just
one.
done
That is.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we need to get this Sam on the podcast at some point.
I'll bring him on.
telling
I'll
you.
bring him on.
You
And they were cheap as well. It was
really?
25 quid for a seat.
Bloody hell, that is cheap.
I know. Standing was 16.
Bloody hell.
I know.
Wow. I'm definitely looking at tickets, me.
But everything seems to be pointing in the right direction. So then when it inevitably gets cancelled, I can't complain about it. So like, we're bringing these big names over. It's a cheap ticket.
Yeah.
Not happening.
Well, I seen I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a new Liverpool-based indie. Well, not Liverpool-based, but they did a show in the Olympia, the first show
This
called
Burning Heart one.
Burning Heart.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I didn't know about it. I'll be honest with you. I'm not gonna
You
lie.
sent it to me.
Did I?
You sent it to me and you said, "Hey, what about this?" Right? And it was the same day that Amy was out. So I said, "I can't do that one. The first one that comes up in Liverpool, I can't do." That was the joke.
I was looking at it the other day, like,
Yeah.
why didn't I know about this? Did I know about it?
You knew about it, and I
Oh,
basically
God.
said, "I'd love to, but I can't."
I must have known about it ages ago. Like, they must
Yeah.
have started now. Was it a while ago?
It was the 21st of June that the show was, but you sent it me months before that.
Oh, that'll be it then.
Yeah, because it was like GYV with her, Lycos Jim with her,
Yeah, yeah.
Young
So what?
Guns. They had
Yeah,
Joe Hendry as well, didn't they?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I seen like bits. I wondered why it popped up on my thing. Anyway, so yeah, I seen the actual like bits of the show, like stuff they posted, and I was like, this looks freaking amazing. Like, why didn't I go to this? Like, what the hell, man?
Baron's being a dick and staying on the other side of the motorway again.
Yeah, absolute nightmare. But yeah, I was just like, what? Why didn't I? But it looked amazing. It looked so good.
Next time, definitely.
Yeah,
Like, because surely GYV are going to do another one in Liverpool.
we
So,
would hope so
yeah.
before they sign somewhere. Know what I
Well, they've
mean?
just opened Fighting Spirit in Orlando. They've opened a school in Orlando with Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Someone
Oh,
posted, I can't remember who it was that posted it, but they sort of said like Fighting Spirit was I think it might have been Jim Smallman on Instagram. He said
oh,
Fighting Spirit was always an amazing school. It's going to be even more amazing if you're in Orlando.
that's good.
So I'm assuming they're still based in America. I mean,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
obviously, like, if
yeah.
you want to get signed by AEW or TNA, you're going to stay there, aren't you? But
Yeah, like I think Zach Gibson's missus is from Orlando,
all
and
right, okay.
they've got, I think anyway, but the new baby, like, they live in Orlando, like,
I mean, were
because
you not even like invited to the wedding?
yeah, but it was in Orlando, so
Oh,
you know what I mean.
oh,
Come on,
You had a small ceremony for yourself in Liverpool.
yeah.
yeah,
So I just sent them a gift. You know what I mean. But yeah, he said a few times, like, can't remember where he was. I think it might have been a Rev Pro when he fought for the title, and he cut a promo and was like, I want to beat you so bad, and like I want to do this, and he was like, I've left my newborn baby in Orlando to come here, like, so I think that's where they must live.
Yeah, fair
Liverpool
enough.
player, which makes
Pretty
sense.
shoddy parenting if he's just left his baby in
I
Orlando and
mean,
no one else to look after him.
I mean, he hasn't just, all right, Dad will be back soon. I'm just going to
Yeah,
work. Like, it
it's
wasn't
Space
one of them.
Mountain.
Yeah, yeah.
You stay over there, and I'm
I'm
not
sure
talking
that
about Ric
wasn't the
Flair.
case. Yeah. I'm not saying he's a neglected neglectful father. I'm just saying I remember that promo. I think it might have been Rev Pro because didn't he fight? Is it
He
Michael?
fought Oku, didn't he?
Yeah, Michael Oku. Yeah, isn't
Yeah,
it? Sure he did because that was his first singles match in like ages.
yeah, I think so.
But yeah, there you go. But yeah, fighting spirit. Not fighting spirit. Yeah, fighting spirit's the school. Bernard Hart. Uh, when it's about. They've got two more
Oku
shows.
seems to be having like a Roman Reigns run at the
Yeah,
minute, but in Rev Pro.
yeah,
Like he was
mad.
champion when we were there, and he was already champion for a length of time at that point, and he's still
Yeah,
champion now.
yeah, man. Yeah, Jesus. So, oh yeah, I'm thinking progress in it, like
Yeah,
because isn't one of the lads? I can't remember who's the progress champion.
like us.
Like us, did we see him wrestle?
Yeah,
We did, didn't we? He was a. Uh,
one of the last matches with his mask on.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, because he was at like fantastic Mania, wasn't
yes,
it?
yes, he
Yeah.
was.
There you go. Anyway, bit of news, bit of indie news.
Speaking about Forbidden Doors,
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah,
Go on. What's it? We're gonna go through the card for Forbidden Door just to see what's what, who's who, all that stuff. Callum, do you just keep an eye out on AEW or are you just like that's not for me?
I sort of keep an eye out, and if there's anything that sort of catches my eye, I'll try and check it out. But
Tickles your whistle.
yeah, yeah, it's just difficult to try and follow. I mean, I know like you spend your whole life watching wrestling, Ty, pretty much. But I find it quite difficult to say, right, I got to make time to watch Raw, SmackDown, a
Yeah.
PLE, and then also be making time for everything that's happening on AEW.
Yeah,
So I
time in.
tend to sort of watch AEW through social media,
Hmm,
whereas I tend to try and watch WWE through TNT Sport or the network.
that makes sense. So you
I
know,
know it's
you
happening
know,
this weekend.
yeah, you know the idea of it. Like, I wouldn't,
Yeah,
if anyone's wondering, I wouldn't recommend watching it all because it's alright. Like, it's horrible. Like, I'm always behind. I'm always feeling like I've got to watch something. Like, it got so bad it gets so bad sometimes that I'm like, I need a break from this craziness. Um, so yeah, and then I go weeks without watching it, or not weeks, but I go like a week without watching it, and then I'm like, oh, I'm like 46 hours behind. Damn it. Do you know what I mean? It's like a
yeah.
full-time job, but it's not good. Don't do it.
ain't nobody got time for that.
Don't yeah. I wouldn't recommend watching as much wrestling as I watch. It's not it's not great, I'll be honest. But such is life. Started watching Doctor Who this week. So
Oh yeah,
mm,
you're not going back to the beginning of that, are you?
no.
Tom Baker
1956.
is.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
No,
Well, that John Pertwee episode was great,
yeah,
wasn't
yeah. No,
it?
just the new one.
oh
Spearhead from
my God.
space.
Yeah. Just I can't think of his name.
And Nguti Gatwa.
Yeah. Lucy
Yeah.
Gatwa. Yeah. Oh, yeah, only that one. But I watched 2 episodes. It was weird because I watched the Christmas episode and it was like scorching outside. And I was just sitting there like, oh, that snow looks nice. Like, it was Christmas. I was like, oh, that looks dead cold. And I'm like sweating because it was like a friggin' heat wave this week, really. So, but yeah, it's good to watch something that isn't greasy men hugging. You know what I mean? Go on. Forbidden Door.
We're at a 14 match card here.
Okay.
Oh no, sorry, 13. My bad, 13. There are 3 matches on the pre-show. What I will do is I am going to take a pause just to go through the Owen Hart Cup as well at some point.
Okay.
So the first match on the pre-show, Chris Statlander and Momo Watanabe versus Willow Nightingale and Tam Nakano. So there's a Willow and a Chris Statlander rivalry that seems to be going on. Probably going to blow off at All In, so that might be a nice one to watch. Mariah May versus Soraya. That's the first round of the Women's Owen Hart Cup tournament. So to take you through the women's side, so far semi-finals are Will Nightingale versus Chris Statlander, so they're gonna have a match there. And again, I'd imagine Willow's gonna win that one. And then Hikaru Shida is awaiting the winner of Mariah May and Soraya. And I stick to what I said a couple of weeks ago. I reckon Mariah May is winning this whole thing, because then it naturally leads into a Mariah versus Tony Storm match at All In.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they have this weird rivalry kicking off where Mariah, as we will get to in Tony's match later, is at ringside supporting both people in the match.
Yeah.
So yeah. The last match on the pre-show is a trios match. Los Ingobernables de Japón. Yota Tsu. Oh my God. Yota Suji, there you go,
Yeah.
Titan, and Hiromi Takahashi versus the Lucha Brothers, so Penta and Rey Fenix and Mystico. I saw this morning on Twitter that Jericho went to see MLL and battered Mystico, but
Yeah.
did this thing again where he decided to wear a mask, but then also wore a sleeveless top. So we can see your Fozzy tattoos. No one else has got them Fozzy tattoos. Like, we know it's you.
No one's that much of a fan of Fozzy.
Yeah. But then he's like
That's it.
slowly taking his mask off, like, oh, I wonder who it is. Like, it's not Cliff Richard, is it? Like, come on. Oh, dear. Right.
Imagine Cliff Richard and CMML
Wired for sound.
getting
Won
Mystico on a
the
summer holiday.
Yeah.
got a new Ring of Honor TV champ as well, haven't we, on that show?
Have they?
Yeah. I don't know who won it, but someone won it. Someone beat Carl Fletcher.
Oh, not Carl Fletcher.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll find out.
Can't remember who. I'm not up on CML.
And ROH.
Well, ROH, yeah.
Yeah. Right, onto the main show. Ladder match for the vacant AEW TNT Championship. And I was a bit annoyed about this, and I've already spoken to you two about it. Why? Because my original idea for a talking point was, let's predict who this mystery man's going to be. And my thing was going to be, I'll come in and I'll say Ricochet, because of course it's going to be Ricochet. Nope, no mystery man anymore. Takeshita versus Mark Briscoe versus Jack Perry, Dante Martin, Leo Rush, and El Phantasmo. Because El Phantasmo has filled that mystery spot for whatever reason.
It's a weird pick for a
I mean, he's a good
spot.
wrestler, isn't he? But like, it's
He
weird
is,
that they
yeah.
sort of did it that way.
But yeah, I don't
Jack Perry's winning that,
Yeah.
you know.
Seeing as though we know who the mystery partner is, who would you have liked it to be?
Ricochet.
Okay. Callum, I can't see your face, you know, like I can only see
Oh no, sorry. Am I
Sit
back?
up. Sit
I'll
up.
sit up. Stop
Straight
slouching,
back.
darling.
I'm
I
like,
mean, I'd probably agree with
all right,
Adam and just say
all right.
Ricochet. Just say Ricochet just for the sake of it. Shane McMahon would have been cool though.
Oh my God.
Shane McMahon. What a time to be alive. Like, I did tweet the other day, or X the other day, whatever you want to say, and I was like, I'm not really loving the idea of Shane in AEW, but imagine Shane versus Darby Allin.
Just
Like,
the chaos of it.
like that'd be more bananas than a big bunch of bananas, wouldn't it? Like,
Yeah.
that's insanity. Like, it would be a literal death match. Like, one of them would be like, one of us is gonna die. So, all right, say how they do to your loved ones and that, because one of us isn't walking out of this absolute ridiculousness that is a match with them two. Jesus Christ. I would have liked Ricky Starks, because he should be in it to
Because
defend.
what's going on with Ricky Starks at the minute?
Yeah.
Come on. He's going to
apart-
end up in WWE, isn't he?
Yeah, apparently he turned down a storyline, and they were like, "Sounds will create."
Was it a big Bill split thing?
Yeah, but he was like, he
Mm.
was meant to be the face, and Bill was meant to be the heel, and apparently they were like, "Yeah, this is gonna like catapult both of you into a bigger thing," and he was basically like, "Well, Bill's not gonna get anything out
Yeah.
of beating me, or me beating Bill. Nothing's gonna happen." So apparently, anyway, but it's like, surely you want TV time. Surely you want to like have a feud.
You
Like,
make the most out of what you've been given.
yeah, and then that's how you kind of build back up, because he was getting somewhere, but then obviously he's been out or whatever. I think, has he been injured or something like that?
Don't
Yeah.
know.
So say he's
Don't
been
know.
injured, and he's come back, and it's like, would you, if you want to come back, and then that can be your lead-in feud, and then if that gets enough buzz about it, and you like make it something, then that's where you like, you know what I mean? But I don't know. Whether it's all true or it's all false or whatever it is, I don't know. To be honest with you, you never really know with AEW, I don't think.
No.
But it's a bit weird that he's not in it to defend
Mm.
being in it. Do you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because he won it last year. That's why I think Willow Nightingale's going to get to the finals. I don't think she's going to
Oh,
win it
because she,
because she
yeah,
won it last year. So I think she's good. It's going to be like, I'm going to be a two-time, going to be a two-time, and that's it.
I think Chris
Willow Nightingale,
Statlander's going to dodge her in,
yeah,
and then Mariah will win.
yeah. But I wouldn't be shocked if she made. She got quite far into it, like,
Yeah, yeah. I reckon she probably will. She'll probably beat Chris Statlander and then go to the finals. Yeah.
yeah. So
Um. So time was Tony Storm versus Mina Shirakawa for the AEW Women's Title. Again, Mariah May being at ringside for both people.
mhm.
Um. Tony's, I think Tony's taking the title into All In, isn't she?
Yeah,
Trios match, the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho and Big Bill, with Jeff Cobb versus Samoa Joe, Hook, and Shibata. I mean, you would hope that it's Samoa Joe, Hook, and Shibata. But again, we'll see. Uh,
have you seen anything in the lane and see?
yeah, it's just daft. I don't.
You
No.
don't understand it.
I get it, and I get what he's trying to do, but again, he's doing this thing where it's like, I'm amazing because I reinvent myself all the time, and it's like,
Yeah,
yeah, but this is naff.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is a rare. It's not a rare miss because I see what he's doing, and it is funny, but he's like trying a bit too hard with it. Like he was like all the way through the show a few weeks ago, and he was like telling people how to like scoop pasta.
Just like,
And like,
how old is he now? He's 53. Come on, man.
yeah,
Just
like,
have your time.
yeah, yeah, I do get it, and it's just one of them where it's just a bit, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Um, two single matches. So MJF versus Tetsuhiro for whatever reason.
yeah,
Um, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Orange Cassidy should
that'll
be
be
pretty
good.
decent. Someone predicted what match might end up being All In for Zack Sabre Jr. And I mentioned it to Sam and I said, right, that'll be the one where I go for a walk and like go get some pick and mix and a t-shirt or something. Because they said a submission match between Zack Sabre Jr. and Bryan Danielson. That's just not me. That's just not me at all. Them two rolling around on the mat, putting each other into surfboards. That's not me. In the same
Yeah,
way that again, like I'd sort of said to Sam, like if we get Ricochet, surely they're gonna do Osprey Ricochet, and he was like, "That's not me." Them two flipping around the ring, that ain't me. And I was like,
really?
right.
Is he like?
He said that he just can't. He said like he needs a story in a match, and them two just started doing cartwheels and missing each other. They've not
Yeah.
actually hit each other, so he's not bothered. And I said, right, well, I'll stay for that one, and you stay for the other one. Yeah.
That's good.
Might
Um,
be the only fan to miss one of Daniel Bryan's final
I
matches.
mean, I'll stay for his entrance. I'll give him a clap. I'll go out and I'll come back in for the final submission. It's fine. Um, Singles match for the IWGP World Title. So John Moxley versus Naito. I'm assuming Moxley's gonna just carry on holding that.
Well,
I
apparently, Naito said that if Mox wins, he'll give him a spot in the G1.
okay.
I haven't
Mm.
confirmed this, but
You've not spoken to your sources.
no. But I did see that somewhere. Whether that's true or not, I'm not sure.
Well, there's a little. Oh no, I thought it might give me more information about it, but it
A
doesn't.
little caveat. Give me a
Yeah,
second.
yeah. No, there's nothing on there that says it, but maybe. A winner take all match for both the AEW TBS Championship and the New Japan Strong Women's Championship. Mercedes Moné versus Stephanie Vacour. I'm assuming Mercedes Moné is going to do this because she might go on a little bit of a belt collector spree for the ones that she can get and still work in
Yeah,
AEW, you know.
yeah,
Um, a trios match, and again, why this is even there. The Elite, so Matthew Jackson, Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks, and Kazuchika Okada versus Scissor Ace. Anthony Bowens, Max Caster, the Acclaimed, and Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Mm,
Now, whoever's job it is to just create portmanteaus of all these people's names when they come together and do something, like Jericho and Omega being the Golden Jets, and this being Scissor Ace, or what was it, the Bang Bang Scissor Gang?
The Bang Bang Scissor Gang, yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah, they're trying a bit too hard, aren't they?
Yeah, they are 100%.
Yeah.
The first round match of the Owen Hart Cup, Brian Danielson versus Shingo Takagi. Now, the men's Pac beat Claudio Castagnoli, so he's waiting the winner of Danielson versus Takagi on Beach Break, which is on Wednesday. In the other first round matches, Jay White beat Ray Phoenix. So Jay White is awaiting the winner of Jeff Jarrett versus the wild card entrant. Now, there's been a lot of conversation about Jeff Jarrett, our mate Jeff, in that, did you see this video about him being in the Owen Hart Cup? Super emotional.
Did you
Yeah.
see the 9-minute version?
Yeah.
Oh,
Right. So a lot of people saying how amazing would it be for Jeff Jarrett to win this. Now, as much as we love Jeff, Jeff isn't going to be in the world title match at all. In it's not going to be Jeff versus Swerve, is it? Or Jeff versus Osprey, right? So the conversation then is you need somebody who is going to be a heel to beat Jeff in that first round match with that wild card entrant. And the assumption seems to be that it's going to be Hangman Page. And then Hangman goes on and wins the full thing. And then you lead to Hangman versus Swerve at All In again. Which I think actually, because I was thinking about this before, like one of the Cultaholic lads, I think it's Tom or Jack, wants Pac to win the whole thing. And that idea of you've got Pac versus Swerve in your main event, or even Pac versus Osprey. And like Pac versus Osprey, you're like two British guys at Wembley, makes sense, all this kind of stuff. You need a storyline build match to main event All In, especially for a world title. And that's why it worked with MJF and Adam Cole last year. In that realistically, if we're getting match 3 of Swerve Hangman, surely that's it.
yeah,
But realistically, how do you up the odds, up the stakes from the Texas Death Match?
yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm assuming it's going to be Hangman. Anyone else want to throw someone out there for a wild card? Don't say Shane McMahon, because we cannot have on primetime television Jeff Jarrett versus Shane McMahon in 2024. Like,
How close is
I
Adam
would
Cole to a
argue,
return?
I would argue that you could have Jeff in the world title picture because they did it with Christian Cage, and you know what I mean. He was up there. Like as long as you get the story, like
Hmm.
I don't think Tony Khan is bothered about someone's age. Do you know what I mean? But I got confused by the way because we were talking TNT and I was thinking we were talking Owen Hart, and so my like wild card pick for this is Ricky Starks. This is
oh,
why.
okay, right, okay.
Hmm.
So just so we can like defend his title of being the Owen thingy, the Owen champ from last year. But at the same time, him coming back and it, him coming back and then it being like this big thing with Jeff and him beating Jeff isn't really it's not really an interesting thing to be fair. But then him losing to Jeff isn't really interesting either, to be fair. So it's a weird one. I don't really know. If it's Jeff and if it's a wild card and if right, let me okay. So let me take it back. So it's Jeff versus a wild card, right?
Yeah.
The idea is this is super emotional for Jeff, and he needs somebody to either beat him or somebody who's a heel so he can be the face. Know what I mean? So I would suggest or say that an interesting wild card to turn Jeff Jarrett, if that's what you wanted to do, to make him a sympathetic face for this tournament, have Jay Lethal.
Okay.
And then it's somebody who's in his stable and it gets to 10. But they've sort of half turned Jay Lethal into a face with stuff with the Briscoes and stuff like that. So I don't know if that's definitely going to happen, but if you want Jeff to go far into it and you do your thing, that's who I'd do it with. would be the wild card isn't necessarily about a massive return. It's about like, oh my God, who's this person? They're gonna win the whole thing. Like Hangman, I would do it more. Why is it this guy? Like we're running buddies, we're mates, with this, with that, and it's like I'm ending this because I deserve it more than you. Do you know what I mean? Um, that's the only thing that I think would make sense in a storyline to turn Jeff. But then at the same time, Jeff as a face just wouldn't work.
Mm.
Like he's just not a face.
No, it's not. My world, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
It's not.
he's just not.
I think it's gonna make more sense once you know who is going in as a world champion, because then I
Yeah,
think you can map it out a little bit better. Callum, you said Adam Cole.
Yeah,
I don't know when he is back. But again, my assumption there is that they're just gonna run MJF Adam Cole back.
yeah,
You
yeah. I
know,
just thought with Adam being, did he win the? I thought he won the.
he won the
Did he win the Owen
first
Hart? The
one.
first Owen Hart.
Yeah.
they're doing MJF Garcia at All In, aren't they?
Talk about two people that I'm not even interested in at all.
That's another match. At which point you're going to be out for half of the card.
Oh, and I'm gonna get myself sort of like well versed in the food trucks at Wembley, aren't
Gonna cost you
I?
more in
That's supposed to be the day that I take my picture of like, look how much weight I've lost in 2 years. Never mind putting it all back on with all these filler matches that I'm going getting pizza for. Christ almighty.
We'll see you at
Can't be
in the
that
background
bad,
of the
surely.
Stadium Stampede match with a hot dog.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, where's Adam? There he is. Hot dog in one hand, burger in another. Oh, I didn't realise this one started.
I was All In, Adam. Yeah, it was sound. I had 6 burgers and 4 hot
I
dogs.
had a lot of food.
Yeah.
How much weight have you put on this week, Adam? Don't ask. Don't ask me.
Jesus. I mean, it's one of them where like it's a weird match to make. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
With MJF. Know what I mean? But it's whatever. I don't know.
Um,
Yeah.
Main event, singles match for the AW World Title, Swerve Strickland versus Will Ospreay. It's gonna be great, isn't it? We all know it's gonna be
Yeah.
great.
Will's not winning though.
I know I'm a bit sad that this isn't just the main event of All In.
I know.
And I feel
Actually,
like
I'm not. Because if this was the main event of All In, I'd be devastated. So if he goes in as the champ to All In, I'm going to be absolutely gutted.
if he wins the world title at All In.
Yeah, I'll just cry like a little baby. I'll be honest.
I'll buy you something nice. Don't worry.
Thank you.
Just to rub it in.
Well, I'm not even saying what I wanted to say. In case you don't buy me something nice.
Well,
Replica
to be
side
fair, like,
plates.
Sam had some his Foo Fighters because we had Ofsted, and I bought him a badge. And then when I gave him the badge, I thought, I wonder if he's thinking this is a dickish thing to do. Because it's like, I know you couldn't go, but here's the badge.
Yeah. Wasn't he doing stuff where it's like, especially with the Foo Fighters do stuff now, it's like a little like a thing with I was here. Not a thing now.
Oh no, I don't know.
I've
I
seen
didn't
a
see
Foo
that.
Fighters thing where it was like I was here. I think it was like a mug or something like that.
Oh right, okay.
And it was like it had the set list that they did.
Oh yeah, I've seen them come up. Yeah,
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 and it was like I was here.
yeah.
It'd be funny if you got on that badge to be like,
Totally.
well, yeah.
I was nearly here.
I wasn't quite here. Someone I know was here.
I paid to come, but didn't go.
Yeah. Did he actually pay as well?
Yeah, I mean he passed his ticket on to his brother in
Oh,
the
that's
end.
all right then.
Yeah, yeah. So
I was gonna say.
but yeah, Strickland and Osprey. Yeah, I can't see Osprey winning. But then at that point, it's like surely whoever he ends up facing at All In is going to be the person that costs him this match. It
Yeah.
can't be a straight clean win.
Hmm.
But he
He's
hasn't really
currently
made
undefeated.
a million enemies, has he?
Well, that's why it's going to be Ricochet.
Hmm.
That's why Ricochet is going to pop up and he's just going to trip him, and then going to be like, "Oh my god, who was that?" And they're going to be like, "Oh my god, it's Ricochet."
But I don't know. Like I do like an undefeated streak. Don't get me wrong.
Hmm.
But the quicker someone loses, the better. I'll be honest. Like it's a lot to hold on to. It's a lot of pressure, and especially the fact that the come up on the board when it says like Will Ospreay and then it's got like 16-0 or something like that. It's just like you just stop. Like
Because I think it sort of it dictates rivalries for a while, doesn't it? Because if you think
Yeah,
about like Gunther's run,
yeah.
like I'll admit, and no one ever thought that the Miz was going to beat him at Survivor Series, and I didn't. But that was the closest where I got to it. I was like, oh my God, they're actually going to do it when he kicked him in the balls.
Yeah.
But again, I'll be the person that will die on this hill. It ended in a damp squib in the end anyway.
I mean, yeah, it did. Well, no, I don't think it did, to be honest. But I see it's one of them where it's like it's fine and it's all good and it's this and it's that. But I remember EC3 like cutting a promo in TNA because he was undefeated for like a year and a half or something like that. And whoever did defeat him, I can't remember who it was, on the show after, he um, he was kind of like, you've like liberated me from this like monkey on me back. And I feel like that needs to be a thing where it's like, I get it, being undefeated is great and it's all this and it's all that, but at the same time, no one's asked if you get beat, but people are asked if you don't get beat. Like you make this a big thing, but it becomes something else, and then you get beaten and it's just nothing. Do you know what I mean? It's just like,
Yeah, because I suppose realistically, there needs to be a pressure on the person to go, well, I've got to keep this thing up, and I.
yeah. So it's
Yeah,
like, so what's he going to be undefeated? Like an undefeated world champ. It's just in 2024. What? Like, so the first time you're going to be defeated, you're gonna be like, oh, I'm like 100 matches undefeated. Oh, and also I've lost my title. Like, that's not that's not cool, man. That's not a good. It's not a good look. Like, just let someone beat them. It's all good. Don't be bothered by this like streak. Let's move on, and you can have a proper rivalry with somebody, and it's not a thing where it's like, oh, who's gonna give him his first loss? Oh, bloody hell. Oh, it's just like, nah. That's it. It's
yeah.
not a big thing. Do you know what I mean? It's not. I feel like the streak of like of the Undertaker has weirdly like influenced the wrong things. That's how it feels. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, it's in this big match too. Oh, well, it's like no, it's not. That streak lasted 20 years and it was one match a year. Like, it's not, it's not the same. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. Just me. Just me. Needs to be beat. Get it out of there.
Yeah, so that's Forbidden Door. Are we watching it? I'm watching it.
I am. I watch AEW, so I am.
I've kind of decided this is my reset point of I better watch all this stuff before
You haven't
for
have
the
a
end of
clue
August.
what's
Yeah.
going on. It's not bad, you know. Like, it's not. It gets a bit of a bum deal on X
Mm.
because of the ratings and that. But it's weird, right? If I watch one episode of like Dynamite, these bits where I'm like, Jesus Christ. But then if I watch a Dynamite, uh, um, a Rampage, and then a Collision, by the time I've got to Collision, I'm like, I'm into this. This makes sense. I think it's one of them like AEW is one of them like weird shows that you watched when you were a kid, right? That you loved, and then you showed somebody, and they were like, "This makes no fucking sense." Like, what the hell? But you're like in on the law. Know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, it makes complete sense that this person can fly. Like, why? Do you know what I mean? Like, why? Someone watches it and they pick it apart because they don't get it, but you've watched 4 seasons of it. Do you know what I mean? And you're like, I fully understand why this is happening, who this is, what's going on. Do you know what I mean? It's like that weird, like, not very high production value sci-fi show that you're like, this is the best thing ever because you're like right into it. And
Yeah.
then your mate sees the end of an episode and it's like, that explosion looks shit. You know what I mean? It's not about that. You know what I mean? Or like someone kicks someone's head and you're like, that wouldn't happen. Why have they done that? And you're like, shut up, whatever. You know what I mean? Because it's like your thing. So when you get into it and you understand what they're trying to do, and you get you've got to watch a bit of it to get away from looking at it like WWE. That's my
Yeah.
advice. You know what I mean? It's one of them. Like, That's how I feel about it. So if you watch one episode or you watch like half an episode, you're gonna be like, why is why is this happening? Why is this person?
Mm.
But if you like engage and you just go into it like this is wrestling, this is nothing to do with WWE, it's quite enjoyable. That's what you got to do. So that show that you were banging into, I don't know what it is. Mine was probably Buffy when I was a kid, and then
The only thing I can think of is when I made Amy watch Hannibal. Well, like I think we tried episode one together. She wasn't a fan, and then I ended up doing the first full season on my own in a binge watch. Then did season two, and then I was like, right, season three is about to start. Can you please, please, please just go back to me and watch this? So she did one with me. She did two with me. She quite enjoyed two, but
yeah,
then season three, it royally jumps the shark in that there's a whole bit where someone gets pregnant but then they end up killing the person that gets pregnant. So they take the baby and they put it in a pig to incubate it. Yeah. And I just remember like my mum sort of saying to me like, "Oh, what good stuff have you watched recently?" And I was like, "Oh, Hannibal's really good." And it was like, "It's not good." And I said, "It isn't." She went, "They put a baby in a pig."
see, that's
So
it.
yeah.
That's the thing. That's it's like man's probably when it's like, why is this little girl fighting zombies and that? What's going? Oh, possibly Dexter actually, because
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
when I was like, you want to get on Dexter? It's proper good, boss. Like I was like banging into it. I was like 5 seasons in. I mean, mate watched like 2 seasons. I was like, can't watch that. He keeps getting away with murder, and it's just like literally
But
like,
he works for the police.
yeah, it's like how's he getting away with this so many times? Like how's he killing all these people and no one's getting onto it? Like it makes no
You're
sense.
not
Like
in. You're not in.
that's what I mean. That's exactly what
Yeah.
AEW is.
Yeah.
AEW is that thing where you've got to be like, you've got to be in, you've got to understand it, you've got to understand the law of AEW. And if you just see little bits, you're like, why is that person doing that? Why?
But it's like, so I mean, I've gone back through Daredevil recently, and like
Yeah.
as I've been cooking and stuff, and like towards the end of season three, I'm like, he's blind. Like he can't do some of
Yeah.
this stuff. He's
Yeah.
blind, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, can I
Yeah.
let it go?
That's it. Yeah. Like it's loads of shows like that. Supernatural's another one where
Oh yeah, yeah,
people
yeah,
have seen bits of it or
yeah.
like watched episodes or whatever it is, and I've been it's because I love it. And it's like these two just keep getting in. Like
Because
if
I'm
these
I'm
two,
sorry as well, but for 15 seasons of Supernatural, that no one else, like government wise in the US, has cottoned on to the fact
yeah,
that all of a sudden
it's
all of
mad.
these things.
Like it's but yeah, and but at the same time, every episode that there's some big monster, they tell the person who the
Yeah,
monster's after that these monsters. But
yeah.
no one's gone, hey, these monsters, you know. Like
Oh, like Dean rocks up and says, "I'm Agent Bieber," and they go, "All right, okay, come on through," you
yeah,
know.
like Mulder and Scully. Yeah, yeah, sound, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. No
this
one
is
watched the X-Files around here. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Agent Tom and Agent Jerry. Yeah, yeah, that's us. Tom and Jerry. Yeah, yeah. So it's like, are you for real? Like, what the hell? Like, it's just it's mad. But if you watch one episode, you're gonna be like, if you watch one episode of season 6, you're gonna be like, why don't they just do this?
Yeah.
Why why don't they just do that? But because you're in, you're like, I know why you're not doing that. And do you know what? In 23 episodes, one of them's gonna nearly die, and the other one's gonna save him. And
Hey,
then
you wait for the episode where it goes animated and they get in Scooby-Doo. You wait.
But because you're in, you're like, yeah, Scooby Doo makes
This
perfect
is gonna
sense.
happen.
They solve mysteries. Do you solve mysteries? I don't see no issue.
Zoom.
That's AEW. That's what it is. You need to watch enough of it to understand what they're doing.
Oh God.
That's
You need
it.
a primer on it before you get into it.
Yeah, that's it, man. Yeah, man. There you go.
Um,
That's
well,
my advice.
on to another big show. This one's happening next week. Money in the Bank.
Yeah,
Um, Now, the spots in the Money in the Bank ladder matches, there's still one spot each for both. But we know who's competing for them, so let's give it a little bit of prediction. So currently in the women's match is Io Sky, Chelsea Green, Lyra Valkyria, Tiffany Stratton, Naomi, and the winner of Dakota Kai, Ivy Nile, and Zoe Stark. Dakota's having it, isn't she?
hope it's the Dakota, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dakota in there.
I've never wanted somebody to be in the money. I mean, I'd take a win in it. I'll be honest with you, but she needs something, man. Like, just she's not really doing a lot, and it feels like a waste. I'll be honest. Like, it feels like
Mm.
a waste of what she's like. I like it in damage control, but like, she needs to do something. She needs to like bust out. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
And she hasn't really done that since when she turned heel in NXT. I think like that was the
Mm.
last time she like really was like, wow, she's good. Like she's really good. So yeah, I would like. I mean, yeah, I don't think she's winning it, but it's nice to have it in there.
Seeds could be planted here though, because Io's in there as well.
Yeah,
Mm.
I know.
So there could be something. Who is winning it then?
I don't know. I don't want to say. I don't want to say Tiffany,
Do you know what time it is?
but yeah. But Indy Hartwell posted the picture of the briefcase and but changed it to say money in the bank. And I was like, I'm in for that. Money
Win,
in the bank.
win.
Um,
No, you're gonna get Tiffy for like
I think, yeah,
9 months walking around with a pink diamante
Mm.
encrusted.
I think
Yeah.
so.
I think it's between her and Chelsea. I think
Yeah.
Chelsea would be quite fun, just sort of appearing on Raw and getting in Adam Pearce's face
Yeah.
and being like, yeah, I'm on a different show now, but I can come back over here to annoy you.
Mm.
But then also have Piper as still as her bodyguard and sort of send Piper to attack Bailey
Yeah.
or send Piper to attack currently Liv Morgan, and then Chelsea trying to pop up to cash in on one of them.
Yeah.
And then it'd be a case of when Chelsea then finally becomes champion, Piper turn on her immediately and be like, "You're champion because of me."
Mm.
And then Chelsea's just constantly ducking out of facing Piper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Chelsea would happily be the first person to not to cash in and fail for the women. Like
Yeah.
she would turn that into like I'm still a history maker. Like I'm still this, like first time ever. Do you know what I
Mm.
mean? Like it'd be, and even if she won it for one night and brought the Divas title back, because that's what she said she's doing, isn't she? And then literally she brought the Divas title back, and then Nevin turned on it, and then the other match or whatever, and she became champ, and it wasn't like they just presented the the big butterfly Divas title, and then it was like you don't actually wear it, it's just there. I'd take that, like just for a single night. Like it would be quite cool, quite funny to see. Do you know what I mean? It'd be quite. Everyone would have fucking kittens over it, but it would be fun to see. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Imagine big about the Divas title. Oh my god! Like people would like spew up over the telly and everything, wouldn't they? But
Yeah.
it would be funny. But I think it's either Tiffany or Naomi. I think.
Mm.
Tiffany or Naomi.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Naomi's like a dark horse.
I'm sticking with Tiffany. I reckon she's having that.
Yeah. The only
Um,
reason why I'm interested in, I think Tiffany's like the obvious, and I think like last year it was EO wearing it,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
EO wearing the number one pick. Do you know what I mean?
No.
She won it, so yeah, I think pulling the old swerveroo and having somebody who could carry it quite well, but also um is a bit of a like, oh, didn't expect that. But that's not that wouldn't be a shock. Do you know what I mean?
mm,
Yeah.
Imagine the lights on it. Oh,
And she's aligning herself with Nia as well, who could be a future champ. So,
yeah, that's it. Yeah. So
yeah.
I think yeah. Unfortunately, I think it's probably Tiffany. Yeah,
Men's. So currently in the match, Jey Uso, Carmelo Hayes, Andrade, Chad Gable, and LA Knight. Triple threat qualifying match on Raw. Whew! Drew McIntyre, Ilya Dragunov, and Sheamus.
mm,
My God. My God.
mm.
I can see Ilya getting in there, you know.
Really?
I can see Ilya pinning Sheamus and getting in the Money in the Bank and with some sort of CM Punk interference taking Drew out.
Okay.
yeah, I was thinking that because obviously in the actual ladder match itself, you've got LA Knight in it, and you suspect that Logan's going to take LA Knight out of the match, and you don't want Punk taking Drew out
Yeah.
in the
Mm.
same match.
LA Knight would be favourite if it weren't so signed posted that he's probably going to be facing Logan Paul at
I was just about to
SummerSlam.
say that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think he's gonna beat Logan Paul.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's
100%.
good. Yeah. So they've given that. I don't.
The
It
go.
seems like it's Jay's case, isn't it?
Part of me goes Jay, but then I feel like does it just feel like it's going that way? Like he's on the poster and he was the first one to qualify, and it's like, is it so clear cut as that? Part of me is thinking Carmelo Hayes.
That'll be interesting.
Like if you have a Hayes and Stratton, Money in the Bank wins. Like talk about putting it on the young up and comers. Talking
Yeah.
about putting
Mm.
it on the let's skyrocket these people. Have lengthy ones. Like we don't need one of them to cash in within a month.
Yeah.
We just don't. We can have decent runs where they hold them for 9 months or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm.
Um, Gable would be nice, but I
Yeah.
feel like with how much he's lost with the title, the Intercontinental title and stuff, I feel like he needs that mid card first before
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
like this happens. Andrade,
No. It's a
I'm
really odd Money in the Bank match because there's no one that, and it's quite good that whoever wins will be like, unless Drew, it would be like a first timer, like a first
mm,
time like world champion as well. So it feels really strange. Like there's no one outstanding. There's not like a big name in it. Like last year you had, yeah, obviously Damien win it, but you also had a few other big names. Like Seth was in it a couple of years ago, and it was like, oh, this feels big. Like whoever wins this, it's going to be like that skyrocket moment.
yeah,
There's no like mad former world champs who are like, well, this guy's steps above the others.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
unless like a McIntyre goes in there, which can't really see.
that it makes it unbalanced then, doesn't it? It
Yeah.
Mm,
feels like if Drew McIntyre was all of a sudden in that match, you're almost like, well, of course it's going to be Drew then.
Yeah.
But I feel like Dragunov is the sort of right level of competitor
Mm.
with the rest of them. And I can't help but think it is Jay.
Yeah. I don't like Yeet in the bank as well. That
Ugh.
makes no sense.
and also like with Jay, you've got everything going on with the bloodline on SmackDown. It will
Mm.
sort of devalue the briefcase if he's showing
Yeah.
up on SmackDown helping Roman and Co.
Mm.
Yeah.
against the new bloodline whilst he still stood there with the briefcase. Because it's like you're supposed to be Money in the Bank holder, but you're seeing this as a different priority. So
Yeah.
it's, yeah, I'd rather someone be Money in the Bank holder and then Jay does his own thing
Yeah.
with SmackDown and Bloodline.
But it's one of them where I think a lot of the people in there could use the money in the bank to catapult them.
Hmm.
I don't think Jay needs that. Like Jay could be in the world title
Hmm.
picture and nobody would be
He
like,
could have beat Priest at Backlash, couldn't he?
yeah. And no one
Yeah.
would be
Yeah.
like, what? Why is this guy here? This doesn't make any sense. But
Yeah.
everybody else, you will kind of be like, yeah, why is this happening? Do you know what I mean? None of them
Hmm.
in the match, I don't think could convincingly have them in a title picture. Even like say any one of them out in Backlash who's in that match, none of them you'd be like, well, they're winning the world title. Do you know what I mean? So that's kind of the point in it. That's the point of the briefcase. I do think they should have a rule where it's like if you've held a world title, you're not allowed to be in the thingy in the Money in the Bank. Like you've
Yeah.
had your
Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah.
That should genuinely be a rule.
Or even if you've had Money in the Bank before. I mean, I know that like we're coming from like double winners and stuff like that, but
Hmm.
it's weird, isn't it? When like I mean, like when Punk won it back to back, it's like you've gone from one year winning it, cashing in, dropping the title, not really doing anything, to then being back in it again the year after. Like it feels like that's when they go, oh, we better do it again, aren't we? Because we flopped it last year, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah. It's like I always back to back anything. I always think you haven't you haven't grown or maneuvered as a company.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like, don't get me wrong. These are small kind of caveat on that with Cody Rhodes winning the Rumble because
Hmm.
clearly they were doing something. Like that was a storyline basis. So I didn't hate that, but at the same time, kind of hated that.
Yeah.
But I didn't because I understood what they were doing. But with Punk winning the Money in the Bank, it's one of them where you're like, you clearly know you didn't do it right the first time. Like you've had a whole year to build somebody else, and you haven't. So this back-to-back thing doesn't really it shows that you're a bit. It was a bit of a fumble, and you're just like, I don't know what I'm doing. No, whatever, we'll give it back to Punk. You know what I mean? So, but there you go.
Other ones to go through quickly so that we can do our other episode. Um, Sami Zayn and Bron Breakker in the Continental title.
Breaker.
Breaker.
Yeah, it'd be good, wouldn't it? Six-man tag, Rhodes, Orton, Owens versus the Bloodline. So at this point, they're saying Solo, Tama. It's weird to try and do it for his names because Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa,
Mm.
and or Jacob Fatu. So they've not said which sort of three it is. But again, I can
Mm.
imagine Solo taking a step back,
Yeah.
and letting them three, they lose. Solo says, right, me and Rhodes, SummerSlam. Um, and then the last chance match for the World Heavyweight title, Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins. If Priest wins, Rollins can never challenge for the title as long as Priest is champion. If Rollins wins, Priest must leave the Judgment Day. Priest's winning, isn't he?
I hate, 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 hate these stipulations. I just hate them. It's just so annoying. No, yeah, you can't
All
do it.
right, get off the fence, man.
It's so like it's so horrible. Like just such a. I don't get it. I don't understand why they do stipulations like this. Oh, you've got to leave this. But why? Like,
I was going to say it's like that Cody one, isn't it? Where Cody lost and said that he could never ever challenge for the world title or something,
yeah,
or whatever it was. But it's
do
not.
it.
It's only while Priest is champion. So at that point, it's like, well, it's a bit of a nothing then, isn't it? Because
Yeah,
realistically, Priest could lose it. He could lose it the same night to the person who cashes in Money in the Bank, and then at that point,
yeah,
Seth goes, "Oh, I can challenge again," you know.
yeah, yeah.
So it's like,
It's just mad, but it's like why I haven't actually seen Raw to be honest, but I don't even know what the promo was where it was like, oh yeah, so you're leaving Judgment Day, but it's like I've got a reason to leave Judgment Day, like to me
what
mates.
does Seth get out of that?
Yeah, it's
I
like
think I watched it yesterday, and it was a case where Priest then said, "Well, I'm probably gonna get this wrong. Judgment Day need me more than I need Judgment Day."
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So I think Seth's winning.
But that makes sense, right? But then at the same time, he can be like, right, I'm leaving Judgment Day. It was sound. Thanks for that. Thanks for everything you did for me. And then his
cheers,
first
lads.
yeah, and then his first
Yeah.
title defense. Finn Balor come out and help and be like, well, you might not be in Judgment Day, but I still want to help you.
Yeah.
All right, okay, thanks for that. Cheers, mate. It's like,
Cheers,
uh,
lad.
yeah, it's like, yeah, thanks. And then Seth Rollins like, oh no, you're not allowed to do that. And he's like, nah, I'm not wearing Judgment Day gear no
He's
more.
Judgment Day adjacent.
Yeah, I'm over here on my own. I can't stop him from doing things. You know what I mean? He don't even talk no more. He just did it on his own back. It just make no sense. I hate it. Like it's just shit stipulation. Like just
Oh God.
infuriates me. And then you can't. This is the thing as well. Where it's like, oh yeah, they can't um fight for the title while you're champ. All right, sound. And then he gets injured, and it's like, oh well, it's sound. I'm right into the mix again. It's all good. But then in 2 years' time, they'll call back to it when Damian Priest is the champ again, and he'll be like, oh yeah, Seth Rollins, I want to challenge for the title. No, you can't because this thing that happened ages ago, I beat you. So nah, can't do that. Mad. It's just stupid stipulation. I hate it. Priest's winning. Anyway, sorry.
Well, I was going to say, do you want to wrap it? I feel like I've taken the reins of this one, and you know what bugs me, right? And this is just a 100% thing me. Every week when I edit this and I put it all together, I sort of skip through to try and find the end of it, right? I've now got better at noticing the waveform of when you go, "Hi guys," and the waveform of when you go, "Bye," right? But every week I sort of go, "Oh God, I talk too much on this, don't I? The other two don't talk enough," and I feel like I've just still done the same thing.
I
So
feel like I talk too much.
you go, Ed.
I do talk a lot. Like I do a lot of just I don't know, I just ramble on, I think. Anyway, before we go, two things. Congratulations to Rhea Ripley and Buddy Murphy on the nuptials. Love a bit of that. And what do you think about the Manchester City WWE deal, do you think we're getting something big in the Etihad? Is that right?
I
Etihad?
mean, every time we go past the Etihad, I say to Amy, WrestleMania there, imagine the Jets going over, right? And then now that they've built the co-op next to it, I'm like, Raw, SmackDown,
Yeah, yeah,
you know.
yeah,
Um, like again, just to go back to Sam again, like his mania that he's going to is 2026 because that's when he turns 40, right? And I'm just teasing him so much about the fact that right now it looks like it's either going to be a London year or a Saudi year,
yeah,
and he's just like of all the ones, he just wants to go to America,
yeah.
you know. But yeah,
I'd go to Saudi.
I don't know,
I'd go to Saudi. It'd be awful getting there, but I'd go to Saudi.
and you might never come back.
Well, die happy at WrestleMania, so it'd be sound. But yeah, I think I'd go. I'd go. It's apparently it's dead cheap over there. Like,
But what did I look at? You know, when you were saying about King and Queen of the Ring tickets.
yeah,
I had a look and it was something like I think that the flight was cheap, the hotel was expensive, but then the tickets were dirt cheap. The tickets were like 19 quid,
yeah. The
you know.
tickets are cheap. The hotels aren't expensive.
I
I
think
think.
I might have just looked at a posh one.
Yeah, they were looking at like I was looking at just put in a Saudi hotel because I was looking at going to the experience, not going, but if I was going
I
to the
was looking at going to the
yeah,
experience.
not going
Let's
like
have a weekend in Saudi to
yeah.
look around
I
this
mean,
Hall of Fame thing.
I was looking at if you were going to the WWE experience, like close to it, you get a hotel that looks swishes anything, like swisher than anywhere else I've stayed in a hotel, and it only went out about 100 quid a night,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it wasn't a lot. Um, but yeah, I was like, you want to go, and Rachel was like, no, just like, nah, it's not happening. Like, you're not even going on your own. I'm not even saying, no, I'm not going. If you want to go, you can. I'm telling you, you're not going.
You're not going at all.
Oh, so no Saudi for me, not allowed. Um, but yeah, do you think the Etihad's going to be a
I don't know. Like it's weird, isn't it? Because surely it can't be a mania because it'll coincide with football season and all that kind of stuff. So then at that point you're looking SummerSlam, aren't you?
mm,
Yeah,
I think it'll
Yeah.
be
but then
SummerSlam.
that also coincides with the start of the season, unless you do SummerSlam, last week of July.
Mm. I mean,
All right. Okay.
they're
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
Rumble in February, so anything's possible.
That's
Mm.
true. That's weird,
Mm.
isn't it?
Yeah, I think this might be a Mania getting pushed back. This is like
Thing
the
is, though, it's like it's the 1st of Feb, so
I
it's
know.
not like
It doesn't
February
feel
the,
right.
the
Yeah,
22nd. Like there was a Rumble a few years ago that was January the 31st.
yeah,
So for UK fans, that was technically still February the 1st.
I know, but
Like if you go
anyway.
back a few years, you're talking like January 15th for the Rumble, and like I remember Mania 20 being March 14th or March 15th,
Yeah, I can't
and
have
that seems really early.
Mm.
a March one. Wasn't 20 March 17th or something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's it.
just said that.
Did you? Oh, sorry.
But oh, he's gone again. Oh no, we've lost
You
him.
want to Anyway, let's wrap this up. Anything else you want to mention?
Uh,
Condolences to Paul Heyman's family. Anything?
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, he took that power bomb, didn't he?
Yeah,
Christ.
Paul
I think
received.
more importantly, condolences to Roman's family.
I
Oh yeah,
mean,
yeah,
yes, indeed. But then also, kayfabe, condolences to the bloodline for when Roman comes back.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Do you know what it's going to be like? And I know, like, I'm probably the only one who's going to we're still excited by this when I see it because of who it is. But do you ever remember? I think it was Legacy were in the ring, I think, and Triple H came out and he's like in his thing and he was like stood there with and he stood in front of like on the top of the ramp, and then Shane McMahon's music came on, and Shane came out, and then Vince's music came on, and Vince came out, and all of like because they'd like punk kicked,
Yeah, yeah,
Steph.
yeah.
Mm.
And I've seen that very recently, and still I'm like, like even though I shouldn't because of who it is and all that stuff, it's still like I still get a little like pop for it because it's super cool. Like these very few things that do that. That's one of them. feel like Reigns coming out, and then the Usos coming out.
It'll have to be Jimmy, then Jay, then Roman.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then
But
do we get Rock as well as
Well,
part of
yeah.
that?
So
I was
once
gonna
once
say
they've
maybe
done
Rock,
it and
yeah,
they've gone in the ring and they're all fighting, then you get The Rock. And then
yeah,
it's like, what side is he on?
yeah. What'd be funny is if everyone's like chanting for the Rock, like doing the thing, everyone's waiting for it, it's happening, and then Sami Zayn's music comes on. It's
Yeah.
like, what?
Everyone's like doing that thing in the crowd where they're all looking towards the edge.
That's it. And it's just like, where's the Rock? What's going on? But
Peter
yeah,
Woodline, the
yeah.
white guy.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Anything else you want to throw in before we wrap this up?
No.
No, good. Sweet. Stay safe, stay entertained, and watch the wrestling you want to watch. Unless you want to get into AEW and then watch lots of episodes of AEW so you can understand the law. All right. I'm cutting that bit out and I'm just having that bit to be like, this is how you need to watch AEW because it's the best example of how it works I've ever heard, and I did it. Mad. Yeah, we'll catch you. Yeah. We'll catch you next time.